Hello, my name's Austin Jarrett from Allett Mowers. Today I want to talk to you about the Liberty 35. You're maybe at the point where you've decided you want to buy a cylinder mower because a cylinder gives a really clean, healthy cut to the grass. They have the ability to be able to mow really low, if that's what you want, but the striping ability of a cylinder mower just cannot be matched. So now that you've chosen to go down this route, I'd like to tell you about this particular model because this might be the one for you. This is the Allett Liberty 35. It's a 14-inch wide self-propelled cylinder mower. This mower weighs about 26.5 kilograms so that it can be carried up and down steps relatively easily. And it's for lawns of about 150 square meters. You can mow 100 square meters in about 9 minutes, or in half an hour I can mow about 330 square meters, just to give you a rough idea of how long it's going to take you to mow your lawn. Why do customers like this Liberty model? In the 4 years since we launched this has become one of our most successful product ranges. And the reason is because of this little 40-volt battery. This 40-volt battery packs 4 amp hours of energy, and it will drive this mower for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on the conditions. That easily gets most lawns mown. If it doesn't, then just buy another battery and you can just keep swapping the batteries over to give almost continuous mowing. What that brings to this mower is cordless. We've had electric with trailing cord plugged into the house or the extension lead for quite some time, but this mower has now really overtaken that because cordless is just absolutely the way to go. It just makes the mower feel lighter, and you've got the freedom to go no matter how far away you want from the house. The machine is quieter because it's electric drive, and that's what this brings. And we've all got to love the whole environmentally friendly thing of not having an engine on our mower, the noise that it creates for our neighbours, but also just the emissions and the environmental considerations nowadays of burning fossil fuels. There is no engine. A lot of unreliability factors of mowers generally come around from engines and fuel, and if you are unable to start an engine, then you haven't got to be concerned about that at all with an Allett Liberty. You can take this battery as well, and it is an expensive part of buying this mower, and you can put this battery into a whole range of other products from Greenworks tools, and that would include things like chainsaws, strimmers, blowers, hedge cutters, long reach saws, and a whole range of other products. That really helps spread the cost of this around and makes the jobs in the garden so much easier. This is the Greenworks 40-volt 4 amp hour battery. It really packs some power, and it's so easy just to put into the power head of this mower and insert it. I have a safety key as well, so that even if the battery is in, I can completely isolate the machine. So if it's in storage, I haven't got to worry about the kids being able to get into trouble with it. It's really easy to insert and to take out, and it's equally the same when I want to charge the battery. There's indicator lights on top of the battery. When they fall to below 1, I then put it onto charge in the charger, and it takes about an hour and a half to recharge the battery fully. Lithium-ion batteries are great. What I can do with a lithium-ion battery is I can charge and discharge it about 1,800 times, and after that time it will be able to hold about 85% of the charge that it was able to when it was absolutely brand new. That represents years and years of mowing. grass box of the Liberty 35 located at the front and is made of polypropylene. If I bump into anything, it doesn't scratch or dent or will not go rusty. The location's at the front, which is nice from the operator's point of view. You can always see whether you can make that next run or not, or whether it needs emptying now. It doesn't get too full at 32 litres, that's plenty. It has a nice handle grip here to be able to carry it to the bin, and it empties fully because there are no edges on the inside here to prevent the clippings from coming out cleanly. The grass box locates on this hoop at the front, which is nice and stable. Of course, the serious part of this mower is about the cylinder. On this machine we have a 5-bladed cylinder which gives 77 clips per metre. So that means the cylinder comes round onto the bottom blade. About every 1.5 centimetres we get a full clip of grass. If I tip this back, of course, the big thing about a cylinder is it cuts like scissors. And so when I take my piece of paper and put this in here, you can see clearly demonstrated that that cuts like scissors. That's really good for the plant. We get much less damage at the injury site. We get less bleeding, we get less moisture loss from the grass plant. That prevents disease from entering the plant. We get a much more uniform cut across the whole width of the machine. The height of the bottom blade above the grass is determined by the height and position of the front roller. The front roller's made of polyethylene. That doesn't get rusty. And the way that I adjust the height of the roller relative to the mower is with this dial. And I have 6 positions that I can use to adjust that. The 6 positions go from 6 millimeters to 9 millimeters, 13 millimeters, 18, 25, and finally the highest height of cut is 32 millimeters. If you decided to buy a cylinder mower, it's probably because you want to get some really beautiful stripes on your lawn too. And one of the things that really makes those stripes is this rear roller. So we have a single piece solid steel 14-inch wide roller at the back, and of course that is a driven rear roller, and we control that from the handlebars. The handlebars are at a really nice height. They're probably the highest handlebars that we have in our homeowner range. If you're tall, this is a good setup. The electric controls are just in this panel here. 2-stage engagement of the electric drive to the motor. Press the button, pull the lever. And I have speed control from 1 to 6. And that controls both the drive of the rear roller speed and also the cylinder speed. The bail bar is engaged while the reel is running in order to take the drive to the rear roller. The nice thing about the safety of this control set is that when I release everything on the handlebars, everything stops. The handlebars fold at this point here, and by releasing this knob here, I can fold the handlebars over for more compact storage or putting this in the boot of the car. If you want a great lawn, you have to use a cylinder mower. But that's not enough in itself for a really healthy lawn that's striped strongly. We need to remove all the dead organic material in the sward, and we have an interchangeable cartridge system here, which means we can remove the cylinder and insert a scarifier. That's very easily done by removing 2 studs either side here, and then 4 retained screws in the side guard using this Allen key provided with the machine, and then that gives you access to the side of the machine. And by removing this pulley in this V-belt, it allows me to remove the cartridge, and then when I insert it, I can put the pulley back on again and reassemble. It's not the quickest change cartridge system that we have, but it's still pretty nimble and can be done in 5 minutes. We advertise this machine as being a scarifier only option, but we do have other 14-inch cartridges which you can put into this machine. But what you do need to know is that this machine, as we've looked at already, has 6 positions, and those 6 positions we cannot access the heights in between. When you put a steel bladed cartridge into this, it either goes too deep or not enough. Carefully handled, you'll get away with that, because over time you'll be using that scarifier generally at its lowest height. But you do just need to be aware, if you're going to fit other cartridges in here, that the height of cut is relatively limited. The other thing about the really versatile scarifier cartridge which can be fitted into this machine is that it not only removes the thatch and the moss on your lawn, but also other debris such as leaves and pine needles and even acorns. Let's go and mow 100 square meters so that you can see what that looks like and how the stripes sit on that. So there we have it, 100 square meters mown in just under 9 minutes. And that includes taking the grass clippings and dumping them into a very local wheelie bin. But that will give you a really good idea, and that means that in half an hour you can easily mow 330 square meters, which is generally within the discharge of 1 battery. So there we are. Don't forget, these products are made in Great Britain, proudly. If you want a fine lawn, you want lower heights of cut, you want to be able to do the cultivations to make a really healthy green lawn, then really you must consider the Liberty 35. You can find more information about this product on our website at www.allett.co.uk. Thanks for listening.